How to reduce office dead time. Leading a life without objectives is like navigating a ship without initiative. You're likely to wind up someplace you don't want to be. This is why you must establish objectives in order to grow and accomplish your aspirations. However, you must avoid frequent blunders along the route. This may make you feel down, doubt your skills, or even give up. The great news is that if you are aware of these blunders and avoid them, you will be far more likely to achieve your goals. Targets, as a reminder, must be SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Goals may even be smarter if the E and R stand for exciting and rewarding. You are more inclined to follow through if you are enthusiastic about the objective and find the result gratifying. Let us now go through our list. Setting unreasonable expectations. They are hazy or so distant in the future that you aren't really driven to achieve them. Perhaps you've established objectives that are too difficult or too easy. For example, unless you've previously completed many months of training, signing up for a marathon next month is outrageously impractical. Or, if you want to be the CEO of a business but have no experience, this may not be a realistic ambition, at least not yet. Concentrating on too few areas, you only establish a few objectives. It's possible that you're thinking too narrowly. Perhaps you didn't even aim at all. Understating project duration. Did you establish a deadline? How many times has a job or project taken you longer than you anticipated? I'm sure it's more than you can handle. You might also say the same thing about previous objectives you've established. Staying motivated requires the use of deadlines. If you establish a deadline, it might need to be re-evaluated. If you don't properly estimate the target completion time, it may be disheartening when things take longer than you expect. This may lead to you giving up. As a result, when planning for your goals, use action plans and efficient scheduling methods. Always add time to your timetable to allow for delays and setbacks. You'll feel less pressure to hurry and complete it by a particular date if you include additional time in your estimation. Failing is not valued. What can you take away from the past 3 weeks, and how can you convert this defeat into a victory? Failure, like achievement, may inspire us to take action if we recognize it and move on. No matter how hard you work, you will sometimes fall short of your objectives. We've been there too, and it's not pleasant. Our failures, on the other hand, are what eventually define our characters. They also contain lessons that, if you have the guts to accept them, may transform your life for the better. So, if you don't meet your objectives, don't be too disappointed. Just record where you went wrong and utilize that information to meet your goals the next time. Establishing other people's objectives. Of course, you knew from the start that it was all for show. Some individuals, family, friends, or even your employer, may try to sway your objectives. Maybe they believe they know what is best for you, or perhaps they urge you to follow a certain route or do particular activities. Obviously, you must maintain positive connections with these individuals, and you must comply with your boss's requests within reason. However, your objectives must be your own and not those of others. So, be aggressive while being courteous, and do what you want. Creating negative objectives. How you feel about it is everything when it comes to goal setting. So, instead of establishing a goal to reduce weight, which has a negative connotation, since it focuses on what you don't want, your weight, try becoming healthier. Having too many objectives. You have so many goals that you can't keep track of them all. Quantities versus quality. Failure to concentrate on your most essential and ambitious objectives. You discover that you are selecting the easiest, but not necessarily the most essential, activities. You've spent much more time preparing than dedicating to a genuine goal. All the preparation and noble intent in the universe won't work if you don't put them into action. Failing to confront the concerns connected with the objective, we may be our own greatest adversaries at times. Did you define the difficulties? What is obstructing your progress? Make sure you understand your surroundings and the difficulties you face. Failure to see the broad picture. Have you determined why you want to pursue your goal? Wanting to achieve a goal for the sake of our beliefs may be more motivating than achieving it for monetary gain. So, what is your larger vision in terms of worth versus materials? Do not establish short-term objectives in order to achieve large ones. It is better to split them down into smaller pieces and track progress. What are your goals for measuring things after 1 month, 3 months, and 6 months? Setting all or nothing objectives. If you're not having fun in the process, you've chosen the wrong goals. Failure to define a precise measure of success. This is more important than the time period. Number 3. You failed to determine how you would know when the objective had been met. What is your ultimate goal? Failure to visualize how your objective will appear, feel, and sound. Have you taken the time to properly envision how you will look and feel as you work toward your goal? This link to visual goal planning may be just what I'm looking for. Here are Phil's recommendations based on Brian Main's 7-step goal mapping. Dream. What do you wish to accomplish? Which objectives take precedence? Sketch. Communicate your objectives with your subconscious mind. Why? Recognize your emotional drives. When? Establish a timetable. How? What steps do you need to take? Who are the individuals or organizations who can assist you? It is a little different than the smarter objectives I discussed last week, but still extremely effective. I like smarter, but I'd rather you establish any objectives than no goals, and I appreciate the who addition since it's difficult to make it excellent on your own. Ignoring goals that make you happy. Assume you've just completed your list of objectives for the next year. You've resolved to increase your sales by 15%, apply for a promotion, and study one leadership book each month. While this is an impressive but attainable set of objectives, there is one possible flaw. These goals are only focused on your job. You've totally overlooked objectives in other areas of your life. While setting objectives, many individuals concentrate exclusively on their job. You cannot, however, ignore activities that offer you pleasure. Writing a book, participating in an adventure event, or establishing a home garden may all be very beneficial to your pleasure and well-being. So, as you establish your objectives, make sure you strike the proper balance between various aspects of your life. Remember that balancing is different for everyone. Use the Wheel of Life tool to determine which aspects of your life need the most attention. This is what I'll be looking at this week. I urge you to assess your objectives and determine if any of these 15 typical goal-setting blunders are preventing you from being the person you want to be. Continue your efforts. What are your most effective goal-setting techniques? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you want to learn about time management and even become a time management teacher, check out the Time Management A to Z Trademark, Ultimate Productivity Skills course, which has a link in the comments area.